sweeping down the plain.
Hey guys, Dan from World of Mr. Grey back with a different kind of video this time. First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. We are now in the first day of 2021. It's probably going to be as shit as 2020, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, by the way, I should add, I will be trying to answer all your questions soon. I've taken a few days off, or like a week off, apart from uploading a video. And I've tried to stay away from the internet as much as I can the last couple of days, but I'm back. I thought I'd steer clear of the paranormal stuff right now, because the paranormal community is imploding on itself. Drama. I try not to get involved in that stuff, because I start opening my big mouth and get myself into trouble, so we won't go there. I have many passions in life. Gaming, debunking stuff, paranormal, and space. Space. The final frontier. I love space. I have a telescope upstairs, which I'm going to dig out because the skies are clear right now. I've been asked quite a few times, and I've sort of like briefly joked on it and then covered it in like for about 10 seconds in the past flat earth. I'm not sure how people can believe flat earth, but I'm no expert. I've always said this, I am no expert in anything. I'm knowledgeable in everything and an expert in nothing. I don't know if that's a good quote or not, I don't know. But I thought we'd see. I've gone to the official Flat Earth Society website, because the question I always get, is from, I have had some flat earthers, ask me stuff. They haven't been nasty to me, not yet, but they've always said you should look into it. You should look into the flat earth and make your own decisions. Now, I've already done that briefly myself. I thought I'd go to the Flat Earth Society's official website and go to their frequently asked questions and see what we can see. So I've gone to the section, what evidence do you have? Because I've always been interested, because I've seen a few, some evidence that a lot of flat earthers have put forward, like the Michelson-Morley experiment. We'll go into that in another video. Many things, which I think they get highly wrong, but we shall see. Now, like I said, I'm no expert in this. If you want experts in this, in the flat earth debate, I should say, go to Simon Dan, go to Baldy Cats, and go to Creaky Blinder. Go to those three channels. Tell them I said hello because I enjoy their channels, but they are far more into this than I ever have been. But I've always been interested in this side of the things as well, not just the paranormal, but the uber-normal, or the... Like I said, I love space, I love astronomy, I love anything to do with space, and when someone tells me I live on a flat earth, I need to find out why. I'm going to go through a couple of points on the Flat Earth Society's website and see if we can answer them as best I can. I haven't researched any of this, I'm just going off my common sense and common knowledge of science and space. I gotta stop doing the Picard voice, I do apologise. But anyway, it starts off in the general information. I might need to put my glasses on for this because my eyes are fuzzy because it was New Year's Eve last night and I had a few drinks. So, you're going to see these. The Flat Earth Society says, the Flat Earth Society is a group actively promoting the Flat Earth movement worldwide, descending from Samuel Shenton's International Flat Earth Research Society and the Universal Zetetic Society before it. We continue the age-old tradition of questioning the round Earth doctrine, and challenging authorities. Acknowledging the link between various unconventional beliefs, the Society also occasionally engages in other controversial debates, striving to provide a voice for all free thinkers and Zeteticists. Don't even know what that is, I need to look up what that means. Zetetism is a system of scientific inquiry. The word is derived from the Greek verb something, which means I seek, I examine, I strive for. Now starting off, that's a good, I've always said, question everything. That's a good outlook to always have in life in general. Question everything, but don't just question something just for the sake of it. If it's fact, it's fact. That's the end of the argument right there. But I do like that saying. That is a good saying to have. I seek, I examine, I strive for. Isn't it an excellent saying? 1 point for the flat earthers. Right, what evidence do you have? This is the part I'm interested in the most. So I'm going to read off them and I'll see if I can either debunk them or question them or just answer them or accept them. Who knows? The evidence for a flat earth is derived from many different facets of science and philosophy. The simplest is by relying on one's own sense. I had to check if my mic is on, and I would have been very annoyed. The simplest is by relying on one's own sense to discern the true nature of the world around us. Now, our senses can be tricked. We can trick our senses, so sometimes relying on your senses is not a good thing, but we'll take that or leave it. The world looks flat. I mean, it does if you're close to the ground. The bottom of the clouds are flat. I don't know. Are clouds flat at the bottom? I don't think they are, they? I sort of see what they're trying to get at. Where it's like the bottoms of the clouds, even though they're not quite flat, but they are like sort of, I suppose they're layered. They're resting, I suppose. I don't know what that's going to do with the flat earth, but we'll continue. The movement of the sun. Well, that's important. These are all examples of your senses telling you that we do not live on a spherical, heliocentric world. This is using what's called an empirical approach, or an approach that relies on information from your senses. Alternatively, when using Descartes' method of Cartesian doubt to skeptically view the world around us, one quickly finds that the notion of a spherical world is the theory which has the burden of proof and not the flat earth. I disagree with that. The flat earthers have the burden of proof, not the globe. What do they call them? The round earth believers? Or the fact believers? No, the burden of proof is 100% on the flat earthers. 100%. I disagree with that. By burden of proof, basically it means I don't have to. If I believe in a round earth, which I do, if I believe in a round earth and I'm debating with a flat earther, they have to prove to me that it's flat, not me have to prove to them that it's round, because there's, that's a lot of factual evidence around Earth when there's not much at all in the flat Earth theory. But we'll continue. Don't hate me yet, flat earthers. I'm just reading. Perhaps the best example of a flat earth proof is the Bedford level experiment. Now, I'm aware of this experiment. In short, this was an experiment performed many times on a 6-mile stretch of water that proved the surface of the water to be flat. It did not conform to the curvature of the Earth that round Earth proponents teach. Many other experiments demonstrating the lack of curvature in the Earth may be found in Earth Not a Globe by Samuel Robotham, as well as the experimental evidence section of this wiki. Now, the Bedford level experiment, I'm going to look this up just to remind myself. Alright, the Bedford level experiment. Basically, what I'm going to go off memory and I'm going to read you the thing, but basically the Bedford level experiment, there was a guy who lived in a canal. What's his name? Samuel Robotham. He lived in a canal, or on a canal, by a canal, sorry. And he put flags at 6-mile markers, or 6 miles. I'm going to have to read it because my memory's terrible, right? I'm going to read it. Right, the Bedford level experiment is a series of observations carried out along a 6-mile length of Old Bedford River on the Bedford level of the Cambridgeshire Fens in the United Kingdom during the 19th century and the early 20th century to measure the curvature of the Earth. Samuel Robotham, who conducted the first observation, started in 1838, claimed that he had proven the Earth to be flat. However, in 1870, after adjusting Robotham's method to avoid the effects of atmospheric refraction, Alfred Russel Wallace found the curvature consistent with a spherical Earth. Atmospheric refraction. I don't have an Earth or ball with me, so I'm going to use a weight. Right, so basically, the Bedford level experiment. The guy who had a canal, he put markers along a 6-mile stretch of canal, so when he looked down a telescope, he could see each top tip of the flag was level the entire time. And obviously, what they're trying to state is that if the Earth was round, you'd see the last few flags dip, which in his experiment didn't. But atmospheric refraction is because of the way light bends when it's refracting to our atmosphere, through our atmosphere. Sorry, not to our atmosphere. It's when you look at a certain distance with certain conditions with atmospheric refraction, you won't see the dip because the light is bending, and you do see that it looks like it's straight, but it's not. It's the atmosphere. No, basically, like when you look through like a glass bottle, when you look from the front to the back of the glass bottle, and you can still see around the glass bottle, like as if you're looking through it. That's basically what atmospheric refraction is. I'm probably not explaining that the way it should be, but that's what it is. But anyway, that's one experiment which has been debunked by many others. So we'll continue. Like I said, I'm no expert. Don't hate me. I'm no expert. I'm just observing. Is the flat Earth theory connected to a religion? The flat Earth theory is neither officially nor unofficially associated with any religion. Throughout the ages, various religions, institutions have championed a flat Earth model for the world. Unfortunately, this leaves us with the vestigial thought that flat Earth theory and religions are symbiotic. They are not, even though many religions today, both mainstream and otherwise, still teach its followers that the world is flat. While they are not incorrect, believing in flat Earth isn't contingent upon believing in a deity or being part of any religion. So they agree with the religions, that part of the religion, but they don't agree with the other stuff. Alright, fair enough. Right, this is the one. I can already see I'm going to enjoy this part. People have been into this is the question to the flat earthers now. People have been into space. How have they not discovered that the Earth is flat? Good question. And their answer, the most commonly accepted explanation of this is that the space agencies of the world are involved in a conspiracy faking space travel and exploration. I gotta take my glasses off this because I'm getting hot and bothered. But, so they're basically saying any space agency, doesn't matter who it is, around the world, have been faking all their flights. They have been faking every single orbital pass with their satellites. The satellites we use for GPS, for television, anything. All the astronauts who have gone up, who have gone to the moon, by the way, I 100% am a believer we've gone to the moon. I'm not even going to debate that. But all the people who've gone on like spacewalks, orbited the Earth, the hundreds and thousands of people involved in the sending people up into space who work for space agencies around the world, they're all in on it. That's what they're saying. Basically saying that every single person ever involved in space agency, to flight test pilots, to mechanics, to secretaries, to every single person ever involved, to the down to the janitor who cleans the bathrooms in the space agencies, they're all in on it. They're all in on the faking the fact that we live on a flat Earth, or we live on a round Earth. Sorry, I can't even imagine the scope and the money that would involve to try and cover all that up. It blows my mind to even think how to cover all of that up. Now, don't get me wrong, the government have definitely done shady things. They've definitely had conspiracies come true. 100% they have. But this one, I think it would be impossible. Impossible. And I'm not saying it would be hard. I'm saying it would be impossible to cover something as big as that up, like the space, every single space agency, not only talking to each other and cooperating with each other, faking every single evidence of around Earth. I don't buy that one bit. That's literally, that is just them spouting out, this is what I believe and I think it's right. That's not how that works. I'm gonna read on, but yeah, that is bollocks. That's absolute bollocks, that statement. But anyway, moving on. This likely began during the Cold War. They're still on about the conspiracy of faking space travel now. This likely began during the Cold War space race, in which the USSR and the USA were obsessed with beating each other into space to the point that each faked their accomplishments in an attempt to pace with the other's supposed achievements. Since the end of the Cold War, however, the conspiracy is most likely motivated by greed rather than political gains, and using only some of their funding. I need to put my glasses back on. I can't read today. Sorry. And using some of their funding to continue their fake space travel saves a lot of money to embezzle for themselves. So they're basically trying to say. So they're basically saying that the reason they fake it, it's not to cover up the flat Earth. It's just to make money. Just to make money. I mean, there's easier ways to make money, if you ask me. There are a lot easier ways to make money, but we'll continue. In light of the above, please note that we are not suggesting the space agencies are aware that the Earth is flat and are actively covering up. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it says up there. They depict the Earth as being round simply because this is what they expect it to be. So they're trying to say that not only do space agencies fake every single flight, they have never actually been up high enough to see that the Earth is round. Anyway. Oh my god. There are many pictures on the internet and other media depicting the Earth as being round. Why do these not disprove the flat Earth theory? And their answer is, in general, we at the Flat Earth Society do not lend much credibility to the photographic evidence. It is too easy to manipulate and alter. I mean, I agree with that statement. It is very easy to manipulate photographs these days. I agree with that. And even back in the 60s, you can manipulate them, but anyone now, today's standards, would see any manipulations in those photos, and I don't think we found any. And I know what you're going to say, well, what about those other ones with the crosses out and all that? They're fake, trust me. They're not real. They were made to try and disprove the space flights, and they were turned out to be bollocks. I'll get into them in another video, but for now, we'll continue. It's too easy manipulated and altered. Many of the videos posted here to prove round Earth by showing curvature will show no curvature or even concave curvature at parts. The sources are so inaccurate, it's difficult to build an argument on them in either case. Furthermore, barrel distortion and other quirks of modern cameras will cause a picture to distort in ways which may not be immediately obvious or apparent, especially without references within the picture. Photographs are also prone to distortion when taken through the bent glass of a pressurized cabin, as well as atmospheric conditions on the outside. With this litany of problems, it's easy to see why photographic evidence is not to be trusted. It is also worth noting that if a person were to look down at the Earth from high above, they would expect to see a circular shape where the sun's area of light was shining. This explains why high altitude photographs are generally curved to produce the illusion of a round horizon. Hang on, what are they trying to say? Hang on, I gotta read that again. It's also worth noting that if a person were to look down to the Earth from high above, they would expect to see a circular shape where the sun's area of light was shining. I think the sun's too big for that, eh? The sun is too big to see the circular shape. Right. I know what they're saying, because I'm fairly sure I've read somewhere that flat earthers believe the sun is only like a couple of thousand miles away, about the size of our moon. They're wrong on that one. But I think that's why they're making that statement in the circular shape. But I could be wrong, but who knows? Moving on. The argument with the camera and the barrel distortion, where they say it will show curvature and even concave, I agree on that part. I'm not agreeing with them, but I agree on the part where the cameras, there you go, a GoPro is notoriously, it's got a convex lens. Convex or concave, I can't remember. But it's got a curved lens, basically. And even at its lowest field of view, it will still have a curved effect. So basically, if I was using this to film myself here, this part would be fine. But that part, the mic would be curved down. This part would be curved down. And if I tilted the camera either way, those sides would then curve up. And basically what they're saying, when you see a video of the Earth from orbit, or from high altitude, well, it has to be from orbit to see the curve. But when you see videos of Earth from orbit and you see a curve, and then people say, see, it's curved. But then later in the video, it goes the other way. I mean, I agree with that part, and I always get annoyed when I see videos trying to disprove flat Earth, or people saying, look at this video, it's curved. And then later in the video, you'll see it curve upwards, and I'm thinking, shit, don't use that bloody video to try and disprove it, because they're just going to say, so look, it curves the other way. And they're right, it does curve the other way, and it's because of the way the lenses work in cameras. But there are other video footage, real footage, of satellite imagery, spacewalks, when people, astronauts have gone out on spacewalks. There's real live footage you can look up for yourself. But I know what they're trying to say, that all cameras have a concave or a convex lens, and this does create curvature. But not all cameras do that. There are cameras out there which they'll have a standard field of view. And there's video out there you can just look up for yourself. But I understand what they're trying to say, but it's bollocks. Now on to the next section. What does the Earth look like? How is circumnavigation possible? This is the question to them again. And their answer. As seen in the diagrams above, the Earth is in... Right, I'm going to try and post this bloody thing. The Earth is the form of a disc with the North Pole at the centre and the Antarctica as a wall surrounding the known continents. This is the generally accepted model amongst members of the society. In this model, circumnavigation is performed by moving a great circle around the North Pole. Now, hopefully I've put the diagram up of what they perceive as the actual diagram or map of the Earth. The North Pole in the centre, all our countries surround it, and the massive bloody ice wall around the edge of the Earth. That's holding the water in, by the way. Now, I don't know how they came to that. That's just pure guesswork. Pure and absolute guesswork. There's no scientific basis for that diagram whatsoever. When we do have scientific basis for our own globe map, we do. And I know you're going to say on some maps, well, Antarctica looks really big on that map, but it's not that big in real life. I know, but it's the way the map... It's because the map, when laid out flat, it's made to go around a globular shape. That's why some countries at the bottom of the map and the top of the map look bigger than they actually are in real life. It's because of the curve. They're countering the curve of the Earth on a flat map. That's why it looks bigger. That's basically why the maps, some countries look bigger. I'm going on. But I don't know where this flat Earth map, there is 100% no evidence for this map whatsoever. That map is pure guesswork. But we'll move on. How do you explain day-night cycles and seasons? And their answer, day and night cycles are easily explained on a flat Earth. The sun moves in circles around the North Pole. When it is over your head, it's day. When it's not, it's night. The light of the sun is confined to a limited area upon the Earth. The picture below illustrates how the sun moves and also how seasons work on a flat Earth. Right, hopefully I'll have this diagram up now. They got like a flat Earth model of the moon and sun rotating around the top of the Earth. Obviously, you got the sun on one side, the moon on the other. They're trying to say, now, if the Earth is flat, that's the flat Earth. I pretend this guitar capo is the sun. So they're trying to say that because it rotates like that on a flat Earth, when it's that side, that's the sun. When it's over there, that part is dark. But obviously, the sun is up. They say themselves a couple of thousand miles above the atmosphere. So when it's there, there's no light there. That's what they're trying to say. But we know 100%, and you could do these experiments on Earth, we know that light continuously travels at, right, let me remember this, 186,000 miles per second. Or kilometers. I can't remember. That's give or take, I'm not sure, but that is around roughly the speed of light. So the speed of light travels 186,000 miles per second. Unless it gets absorbed by material or rock or anything, it continuously goes. So they're trying to say that somehow, they can't explain why, but somehow, when the sun is above the flat Earth, and it's that side, that area is dark, supposedly. But, so somehow the light stops. It just stops halfway across the world. The flat Earth world, that is. So how do they I don't know how they explain that. I don't know how they... Is there a big, massive... Is the North Pole that big that it hides the sun? I doubt it. But that's what they're trying to say. That the light just stops halfway across the world. Just stops. Nothing stops it. It just stops. Just fades off. But whereas we know that light continuously moves along unless something absorbs it. We know that. They can't refute that. There's nothing that refutes that light just stops for no reason. So that was bollocks. So moving on. Right, the next question. How is there a magnetic field? Magnets can't be unipolar. While it's true that unipolar magnets can't exist, this isn't the problem for the flat Earth. This is because ring magnets, which are shaped like, you guessed it, a flat disk, are capable of having radial magnetization. In a radial magnet, one magnetic pole is at the center and other is at all the points of the edge of the magnet. A magnet like this can be found in loudspeakers and perfectly replicates what is found on the Earth. Now, unfortunately, I don't know enough about magnets to refute this. I mean, who knows? But unfortunately, I don't know enough about magnets, so I'm going to move on to that. Because there's no point me even trying to answer that one. Next question. As a passenger on an aircraft, how is it I can see the curvature of the Earth? Quite simply, you cannot. I agree with them on this. You have to be fairly... I'll read on a bit. But you do have to be bloody high. High as in space rocket high to start seeing the curvature of Earth. You can't see it on the aircraft. As far as I'm aware, I've flown a few times in my life and I haven't seen the curve. Planes go about 35,000 miles. 35,000 feet, sorry, high. And, you know, the outer, or the, to get out of our atmosphere, I know is about 65 to 70 kilometers outside of our atmosphere. So, basically, if you're in a plane, you're about that close. If obviously this is not scale. That's the Earth, that's the plane. You're about there. Say that tip is a plane. You're about there on the Earth. You'd have to be up there somewhere to start seeing the curve, you know. I agree with them on that. I don't think you can see the curve on a plane, and yeah, I do agree with them. But I am going to read on before I agree with them on that. If the Earth was round, one would need to observe it from an altitude of 60,000 feet in ideal atmospheric conditions, assuming a field of view of at least 90 degrees to have a clear view of a supposed curvature. Commercial aircraft do not fly this height, I agree. Generally, cruising altitudes vary between 33,000 feet and 42,000 feet, with 36,000 feet being the commonly cited figure. In addition, the windows on commercial aircraft are small and heavily curved. Even if they fly high enough for a person to see curvature, it will not be visible to passengers. It is likely that those claiming to have personally visually discerned curvature from an airplane are experiencing a form of confirmation bias. Now, I do agree with that. I do agree that the reason you hear some people say, yeah, I saw the curve, they're probably because they expect to see it, or some people have said, I saw the curve, and they just think, oh shit, maybe I should say I should see the curve. I agree on that part, but like I said, the reason you can't see the curve in a flight on an aircraft is because you're so... You might be 35,000 feet up in the air, but in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to the Earth's size, you're still pretty much close to the ground. You know, that's why you can't see the curve. The Earth is big, by the way. Should have mentioned that. We'll skip the one about the weather, because I don't know enough about weathers and cloud systems. I just don't. On to the last few questions. This is a long bloody video, I do apologise, but I am interested in this stuff. Next question. If the planets are round, why isn't the Earth? And their answer, planets from ancient Greek blah blah blah. I don't know why they're quoting Greek stuff, is to make them look intelligent. Are orbiting astronomical objects. The Earth is not a planet by definition, as it sits at the center of our solar system. Now so they're basically going on their entire theory, thesis, basis, whatever you want to call it, is based on the fact that they believe that the Earth is the center of our solar system. So they're going on. That's where they're going off straight from the bat. So, you know, remember that the Earth is not a planet by definition. It sits in the center of our solar system, above which the planets and the sun revolve. The Earth's uniqueness, fundamental differences, and centrality makes any comparison to other nearby celestial bodies insufficient, like comparing basketballs to the court on which they bounce. So they're basically trying to say that, yeah, they agree. Everything else is round. Every single thing in the bloody universe is round, from planets to gas giants, stars, everything from the smallest little nanoparticles to the biggest things in the universe are round, except for the Earth. It's like, yeah, that's right, but no, still wrong here. Doesn't happen. No, that's the bollock statement. That's bullshit, that statement. I'm just saying. Moving on. Why doesn't the next question. Why doesn't gravity pull the Earth into a spherical shape? Their answer, the Earth isn't pulled into a sphere because the force known as gravity exists in a greatly diminished form compared to what is commonly taught. The Earth is constantly accelerating up at a rate of 32 feet per second. What? Up. There is no up or down in space. I should add that, but I just need to check something. Oh, right, that's the flat Earth theory. Okay. I had to check it. I thought, hang on, I've never heard that the Earth is accelerating up. Up? Again, they're just going on absolute guesswork. And I don't know, 32... The Earth is constantly accelerating up at 32 feet per second squared, or 9.8 meters per second. Now, that's a precise number. That is a precise number. How do they know this number? How did they come to this number? Well, yeah, this is the flat Earth. By them saying that the Earth is accelerating up at the rate of 32 feet per second, or 9.8 meters per second. So it's constantly accelerating. So by that definition, we should have hit the speed of light by now. The constant acceleration causes what you think of as gravity. Imagine sitting in a car that never stops speeding up. You will forever be pushed into the seat. The Earth works much the same way. It is constantly accelerating upwards, being pushed by a universal accelerator known as dark energy or etheric wind. There are also other theories of flat Earth thought that maintain that the Earth sits on an infinite plane with the sun moving overhead. Gravity works much like it does on a round Earth model, and the Earth will never form into a sphere because the plane is endless. Again, pure guesswork. 100% absolute guesswork. I want to know who the hell came up with that guess first. Let me know. I need to find out. It's pure guesswork. I don't know where that number came from. Someone must have came up with that number or guessed that number. We orbit the sun, our star. And yeah, we are moving. But constantly accelerating? No. Oh, actually, the next question. Objects cannot exceed the speed of light. Doesn't this mean that the Earth can't accelerate forever? Their answer. Due to special relativity, this is not the case. At this point, many readers will question the validity of any answer which uses advanced, intimidating sounding physics terms to explain a position. However, it is true, the relevant equation, they're going on equations. One will find that this equation, I'm not going to read those equations, it's pointless, can never exceed or equal 1. This means that velocity can never reach the speed of light, regardless of how long one accelerates for and the rate of acceleration. Not entirely sure that's true, but I don't know enough about theory of relativity. I'm not intelligent enough for that, so I'm going to leave that one, but I don't know. So yeah, that is the end of the flat Earth questions that they asked and got answered themselves. A lot of it is bollocks. A lot of it I agree, but nothing to do with the flat Earth stuff. Just the technology and physics of certain things are true. But I think they kind of use it to confirm their bias. See, they always say about confirmation bias, but they use certain things to confirm their bias, and other things they just, nah, it's not true. That was a long-ass video about flat Earth, and it's something I may address in the future. Like I said, I'm no expert on this kind of stuff, but it's stuff I have looked into in the past, and using my basic knowledge of science, very basic, I think you can debunk a lot of this stuff. Hopefully, I probably will get shit for this, but who knows. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I can take these off now. That was my initial introduction to flat Earth. And we'll see how it goes on with this. And I hope you enjoyed my long-ass rambling video about flat Earth. Anyway, leave a like if you liked that video. Leave a sub if you're new to my channel. I do these quite often. Not this one, but the paranormal. And there's going to be more of this, because I enjoy talking about this stuff. And that's it. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I'm full of shit. I'm sure some of you will. Let me know what you think. Do you believe in the flat Earth? Do you believe the Earth is round? Do you believe in common sense? Do you trust your senses? Because according to the flat Earthers, you can trust every single sense. But anyway, I'm going. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.